Because if it ain't that, is it the snitch? Is it your informant friend? Did they come to you? Did they get you? When did they get you?
Right.
Is that what you hiding? Is that what it is? Because this don't make no sense.
So that would be the question. What is it?
What is
Why?
it?
Why did you do this to me?
That would be the only question. Why?
Even like in the rap world, like all of the rappers that you know that never been to jail and never got in any trouble with the law, but they talk as if their life is opposite of that. Like those are federal informants. Like, you know.
You think they're really out there?
Katt Williams is back at it again, and this time he's dropped another wild no-filter interview that's got everyone talking. Just like that jaw-dropping appearance on Club Shay Shay last year, this latest sit-down is packed with fiery confessions and unfiltered truths. In true Katt fashion, he went straight for the jugular, spilling some seriously hot industry secrets. But the moment that really shook people, when he claimed that some big-name rappers are actually working as federal informants. The second he said it, all eyes turned to one name, Jay-Z. Whispers about Jay-Z's supposed connection to the feds have been floating around for years. People keep saying his day of reckoning is coming, but it never does. While folks close to him keep getting snatched up by the feds, Jay-Z stays untouched. Now Katt is saying there's a reason for that, because according to him, the feds ain't coming for Jay-Z. He's one of them. Hold up, is Jay-Z really in with the feds? This just took a wild turn. So what did Katt really say about your favorite rappers being snitches? Let's break it down. Katt's yearly tell-all interviews are turning into a full-blown tradition, and people can't get enough.
Yeah. That's part of the job, is to acquire those. It's like saying, you know, if you're playing chess, do you have any pawns? You have to, don't you? You can't start without them.
Last year's Club Shay Shay interview flipped the game upside down. He name-dropped everyone from Diddy to Steve Harvey, called out industry freaky business, and somehow, a lot of what he said started coming true. Now he's back, this time with Theo Von, and he's spilling even more dirt. From secret industry deals to reincarnation and politics, Katt held nothing back. But what really got folks buzzing? When he started talking about industry snitches. Soon as he dropped that, the internet pointed fingers. Straight at Jay-Z. Think about it. Everybody in Jay's circle seems to get picked up by the feds. But somehow, Jay always walks away clean. Suspicious, right? According to Katt, it ain't a mystery. He says Jay-Z's untouchable because he's protected by the feds themselves. If you really want to understand it, you gotta go way back, before the fame, before Rock Nation, when Jay was just another hustler on the block. Before Jay-Z blew up in music, he was deep in the streets, and not everything he touched was legal. One of his tightest boys back then was DeHaven. They grew up together in the Marcy projects, real close. So close that Jay even became godfather to DeHaven's daughter. DeHaven wasn't just a friend, he was Jay's partner in the hustle. But things took a turn when both of them got caught up in a case. DeHaven ended up doing 5 years, while Jay walked free. You'd think Jay would ride for him, right? Wrong. DeHaven says Jay ghosted him during the case, leaving him to deal with everything solo. And instead of showing loyalty, Jay called him a snitch on his track, No Hook, rapping F to DeHaven for caving. That's why we don't speak. DeHaven has always denied snitching, but the damage was done.
And keep in mind, the chick had a plan too. Like, yo, we could do things. And I can guarantee you the conversation with Emery, even when Emery came home and seen, he came home and seen the same thing. Yo, you dealing with her?
Who's the chick?
Desiree.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
He came home and had to see it too. Say, yo, what is this? And I can tell you how that conversation probably went. Like, look, man, you don't need to worry about this. You don't need to worry about nothing else ever again. You over here with us now.
While Jay built a billion-dollar empire, DeHaven was left in the shadows, painted as the fall guy. Jay had the power to shape the story, until DeHaven dropped a bombshell interview with Real Life Productions and spilled his truth. According to him, the reason Jay always slides out clean, even when stuff hits the fan, is because he's got major protection. And a key name in that protection? Desiree Perez. Desiree Perez, a former federal informant with a sketchy past, is now the president of Roc Nation and Jay-Z's go-to power player. Wild part? Jay once blasted DeHaven for snitching, but then turned around and made an actual federal informant his right-hand woman.
You want to know exactly how I'm feeling? I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Roc Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men.
The double standards are insane. But Desiree's past ain't just about shady taxes or some light drama. It runs way deeper. Born in the Bronx to Cuban parents, she started in the club scene during the 90s, working part-time at a New York nightclub. That's where she started linking up with artists, one of them being Jay-Z. By 2009, she officially stepped into Roc Nation as COO, working side by side with Jay and Beyonce.
Yes! And Desiree Perez, you wicked witch, you snitch!
Yes!
You turned on your co-conspirators, all the whole mafia one of you that was peddling drugs in this country, and you rolled on them before for the Fed to give you a deal. All of you, trust me, I have intercessors, prayer warriors around the world, and they will not stop until you cut off. No, we don't you with guns, but we know exactly how to bring you down in the spirit.
That's right.
Then in 2019, Jay made it official at the Billboard Women in Music Awards, naming her CEO of Roc Nation. Since then, Desiree's been behind some major moves. She helped lead Roc Nation's biggest projects, and even executive produced the Super Bowl halftime shows from 2021 to 2024. From the outside, it looks like she and Jay have a tight business bond, but some insiders say it's way deeper than that. In fact, people in the game have even started calling Desiree Jay-Z's Griselda Blanco. If you're not familiar, Griselda Blanco was one of the most feared drug bosses out of Colombia, known for running things with zero mercy. She's linked to over 200 unalives and ruled Miami's streets from the 70s all the way into the early 2000s. In 1975, Griselda got locked up and sentenced to 20 years. She did 19, got out for health reasons, and was sent back to Colombia, only to be gunned down in 2012 by motorbike assassins. To this day, nobody really knows who ordered the hit, but plenty of theories are floating around. Now you're probably thinking, what does any of this have to do with Desiree or Jay-Z? Well, here's where things get spicy.
Desiree Perez became a cooperating witness for the DEA in the 1990s after her 1994 arrest for possession of 35 kilos of cocaine. Perez struck a deal with the feds, agreeing to wear a hidden wire to record her meetings with major cocaine traffic cartel. Her undercover informant work won her courtroom praise for federal prosecutors, as did mine, after she helped them break up major drug dealers in Puerto Rico and Colombia.
There's an old photo showing a young Jay-Z and Griselda looking real cozy, like way too familiar. So how'd they even cross paths? That's where Desiree comes in. According to court records dug up by the New York Daily News, Desiree Perez got busted back in 1994, caught with 35 kilos of Coca-Cola and charged with conspiracy to distribute. That's major weight, and a major link to some serious players. Authorities say Desiree was part of a massive distribution ring that stretched from New York to Florida and even Puerto Rico. And she wasn't flying solo. Her husband, Juan OG Perez, was right in the mix. Word is, OG Juan even had direct ties to Griselda Blanco herself. Now here's where it gets real juicy. Jay-Z and OG Juan go way back. like mid-90s back. They co-founded the 40/40 Club together, and years later, Jay made OG Juan the head of Roc Nation Sports. But insiders claim their bond started way before all that corporate stuff, back when Jay was still out in the streets. Rumor is, Jay and OG Juan were both moving the same kind of product back in the day, if you catch the drift. So their connection runs deep, street level deep. Back to Desiree's case. This wasn't some low-level bust. She got caught with serious weight, and the case had ties to major cartel players. We're talking real kingpin energy. This wasn't just about a few bad choices. This was a federal-level storm with big names and even bigger secrets. Now here's the crazy part. Despite how serious the case was, Desiree only got 5 years of probation. Why? Because she agreed to flip and work with the U.S. Attorney's Office as an informant. She wasn't playing around either. Desiree reportedly wore wires and gathered info on her old crew. According to court docs from a June 11, 1996 hearing, the feds were more than happy with her loyalty. Assistant U.S. Attorney Lawrence Feld even told the judge, the defendant has really worked closely with these agents while pushing to keep her out of jail.
You see Meek Mill right here with Desiree Perez, right? She's part of his bail with Jay-Z. This part of Roc Nation, right? She's a executive at Roc Nation. But then you go saying, yo, listen, we don't fuck with rats. Your executive is a rat. So you pick and choose? Because if you don't want to be around rats completely, you're with a rat right there. She cooperated for the DEA.
The New York Daily News covered the whole thing, calling Desiree a Manhattan club manager with a long rap sheet and tight ties to none other than Jay-Z. They even described her as a longtime DEA cooperating witness with a wild past. So while folks thought Desiree just lucked out, the truth is she played the game hard and walked free by helping the feds take others down. Now here's something strange. Try looking up that article about Desiree's case, and it's almost impossible to find now. Like it vanished. Things got real messy when Jay-Z made her president of Roc Nation, and his old friend Dame Dash didn't hold back. He pulled up on Sway in the morning and said straight up, Jay crossed the line by putting a known federal informant in that kind of power. Dame pointed out that plenty of people in Jay's crew, like Kareem Biggs Burke, co-founder of Rockefeller, had already dealt with the feds before. So bringing in someone like Desiree made no sense, especially given the street code they used to live by. But Jay ain't the only one making moves like that. Remember when Meek Mill blasted Tekashi 6ix99 for being a rat? Back in May 2020, Meek tweeted, I hope that rat going live to apologize to the people he told on, or the victim. Y'all forgot that fast that a rat unalive Nipsey. He wasn't supposed to be on the streets. Wild how the rules change when it's someone close to you making shady alliances. Fans weren't feeling Meek Mill's tweet at all, and they fired back quick. People were quick to remind him that he's the last one who should be talking about snitches.
But what if, yo, she a snitch? Man, f that snitch, bro. Them people that's talking about that snitch, we ain't gonna be breathing in the same ear. Them, fuck, that's what you worried about, them that don't have nothing sitting home. Where you gonna be if you don't get on this side? The hell, get on this side? I can see that conversation happening. And they move all his integrity and morals to the side to take care of his family.
Because he's been cozy with one himself. Receipts started flying, and folks dug up photos from 2019 showing none other than Desiree Perez personally walking Meek into court. Not long after, Meek managed to cut a deal and walk away from his charges. So naturally, people started side-eyeing the whole situation. The nerve of calling out snitches while rolling with someone who literally wore wires for the feds? Yeah. Fans weren't letting that one slide. They called Meek out hard for the double standards. And they didn't hold back. Just months after Tekashi called out Meek for working with Desiree, news broke that she was one of 143 people who got pardoned or had their sentences reduced during Trump's first term. But that pardon didn't bring peace. It sparked even more drama. Once folks realized Desiree had a past as a federal informant, people started throwing heavy shade at Jay-Z and Roc Nation for keeping her so close. One of the loudest voices? Tory Lanez's father. He snapped on Jay-Z right after Tory got hit with a 10-year sentence for the Megan Thee Stallion case, blaming Roc Nation for the whole thing and questioning their alliances. Tory Lanez's father didn't hold back. He went on a full-blown rant right outside the courtroom. He straight up called Desiree a snitch and pointed fingers at Roc Nation, hinting they had a hand in Tory's 10-year sentence. The man was heated, and he made it crystal clear. He believes there's way more going on behind the scenes than we're being told. And guess who else chimed in? Jay-Z's old friend DeHaven. He came out swinging too, calling Desiree a snitch and dragging Jay for still being tied to her. According to DeHaven, Jay's loyalty is all out of whack, especially when it comes to who he lets in his inner circle. This story just keeps getting wilder. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments, because we're definitely not done yet. See you on the next one.